What's going on, my broskiis? My name is Toadski, back again, here to bring you guys yet another One Piece Treasure Cruise video, and we're going to be having a look at the data download that arrived here on One Piece Treasure Cruise with a brand new Kizuna Clash and Support Sugo Fest, as well as the new Super Evolution for Crocodile, which we'll go through in today's video as well. But interestingly enough, the characters that they chose for this celebration, so we're going to be having a new Wapol and Vivi from the Reverie, so this is actually kind of cool, as well as there being a new, what's this guy's name, Morgan, the bird guy, Big News Morgans, as well as there's going to be a new Jewelry Bonney. It looks like an Egghead Bonney, probably going to be the support unit, we'll have to wait and see. And yeah, as we said, the Super Evolution for Crocodile. Remember, this is the treasure map Legend Crocodile that you can get currently from the Rumble season. Hopefully he's good. I haven't read anything about these units. I'm excited to jump into this one. So here we have our first unit, Kizuna Rare Recruit Morgan. He is a quick superclass character, Cerebral Fighter. Alright, so his captain ability, set own special status to 1 at the start of the quest. Okay, so this is very similar to Hawkins, and I think Treasure Map Crocodile also has this effect as well. Boosts quick cerebral fighter characters 4.25, 1.5 HP, quick recovery matching, reduces despair by 2 turns. If you use a base attack special extended by 1, okay, it's pretty terrible. Changes bomb and unfavorable slots into recovery, reduces rainbow shield by 3 turns and burn by 3 turns. Does he have double special launch? No, okay. Depending on the special status, apply the following effects. So basically means, like, if this is the first time you've launched the special, you get this effect. You get a 2.25 orb boost for 1 turn, and you get a set special status to 2. Okay? But if you use him as a captain, it sets it to 1. So at 1, it swaps bottom right character with the captain for 3 turns, and boosts cerebral character's orbs by 2.25 for 3 turns, and then you get the set special status to 2. And then if you use the special status when it's at 2, cerebral characters get a 1250 base attack for 1 turn and set it back to 0. Okay, so if you use him as a captain, you'll get this buffed version of the special. If you use him as a sub, you get this special ability. So if you do use him as a captain, you get access to that super class, which says, sets own special status to 1, completely removes own special bind, and buffs crew's attack boost by 0.25 cerebral to super cerebral. It doesn't seem very good. You need to have a Vivi, Wapol, Cobra, Sabo, Stussy, and if 5 or more cerebral characters are on the crew. That's a very strict condition, but it does allow you to use the special ability to switch the character in the bottom right position for 3 turns. So despite him not being a great captain, use the effect of his special ability, which can switch him out of that captain position potentially. Okay, he just seems kind of weird. You get paralysis reduction by 1 if you have a cerebral captain, reduces own cooldown by 11 when a cerebral captain uses their special once per quest. Okay, so it does allow you to get potentially a double special launch, so long as you focusing your team around cerebral, basically. Okay, very, very weird character. He doesn't even have a support, which does kind of suck. So Morgan's, honestly, I don't think he's that great. Let's be real here. He doesn't really provide that much. He does have a little bit of orb change. He does have rainbow shield and burn removal, but that's basically all he's doing. I mean, a lot of characters can provide orb boost. I guess there's going to be potential reasons to use him as a captain for this kind of effect, but in most content outside of the Kizuna Clash where he's going to be boosted, this seems like not a great effect, in my opinion. Let's move on, though. Let's have a look at Wapol and Vivi. I like the artwork for this one. This is kind of cool. So Slasher Cerebral for this unit does have Hunger potential ability. Also has Super Type. Interesting. Sets own special status to 1. Okay, it's very, very similar to Morgan. Okay. And if you use a Chain Edition, you extend it. I mean, reduces paralysis by 2 turns as well. It's pretty cool. So it changes block and tandem slots into recovery. So this, a lot of effects changing slots into recovery. So if the Kizuna Clash has effects where they take less damage from like type slots and stuff, like that's going to be annoying because this is going to be really good for that. Reduces barriers by 1, enemy threshold by 3. Depending on the special status, you get different effects. So this gives an attack boost, set special status to 2. Swap bottom right character with the captain for 3 turns. Cerebral characters 2.25 attack for 3 turns. Yeah, it's the exact same effect. Instead of an orb boost, you get an attack boost instead. So, not my favorite, honestly. So moving past that, with the super type, you need to have 2 of the following characters on the crew, and this one is Shira, Rebecca, Mancheri, Cobra, Sabo, and Morgan. Okay, so a little bit easier to fulfill, I suppose. The super type effect is basically the same kind of effect. It does completely remove their own special bind. Morgan did not have that. Superclass. Oh, he did. I completely looked over that. So they both have the effect in the superclass to remove their own special bind whenever they're inflicted with it, I guess. But again, like, I just don't see these characters being very useful outside of this event. Like, these characters just don't seem that great. Reduces despair by 1 turn if you got a Cerebral Captain, and then again, cooldown reduction if a Cerebral Captain uses their special. So you could potentially get like a double special launch, but yeah, it's a little finicky in my opinion. I'm not a big fan of these two effects and the design of these units, but I can understand what they're trying to do. Let's move on. We have a support Ericv Bonney from Egghead. You see Mr. Vegapunk down the back there. So he is, or should I say, Bonney is a free spirit Cerebral unit and is a support unit. Remember that the base effects of a support unit kind of don't matter. Let's have a look at what the actual support does. So the support says it can only be attached to any of the, well, it looks like any of the Supernova. Luffy, Zoro, Law, Hawkins, Killer, Yoro, Kid, Apu, Drake, Bedge, Kuma, as well as Vegapunk. Once per quest, if you're inflicted with attack down, reduces attack down by 3 turns, and boosts color affinity of the crew by 1.75 times that can be overwritten. That's a very good support. Very good support. The fact that it attaches to any of the Supernova and it's a 3-turn attack down remover, that's crazy. Yeah, this is a very powerful support. Definitely going to see lots and lots of play. The fact that this is such a good support that attaches to so many good units. This is legit one of the best supports in the game. Like, hands down, this is phenomenal. Absolutely phenomenal. Okay, I like it. I like it. Let's talk about Crocodile, though. So, old mate Croc, let's see. Overall, nothing really looks too crazy. He is the same classes. He's the same color. He's the same so far. Let's go ahead and have a look. So remember that Crocodile, he is going to super evolve. He gets level limit break. So depending on your investments, you're going to be getting different abilities. And it looks like, yeah, you still have to get him to level limit break 5. And the reason why this is a problem is because he's a treasure map legend. Not a lot of people are going to have this guy completely invested. I know myself personally, I think I've only got him at level limit break 2 or 3. So I'm not going to have a lot of investments here. So let's see what happens. So if you get him to level limit break 3, the captain ability, you get 2 turns of cooldown. That's good. And he now boosts Driven and Cerebral. So he was a Cerebral-driven character, but his effects were only boosting Cerebral. So now, upon super evolving, he now focuses on boosting both of those 2 classes, which is a great addition to this kit. 5.25 times attack, 4.5 times otherwise. So he gives everyone at least a 4.5 boost. He boosts crew's HP by 1.35. Cerebral and Driven characters get 5.5 times attack if your HP is below half when you attack, or for 3 turns when aiding Sables is used. Is launched at status 1. Okay, so if you're below half HP, you get the 5.5, or you get it for 3 turns if you launch it while his special is at status 1. So remember that this is very similar to the Vivi and Wapol characters we talked about earlier, is that he also has this effect to set his special to different statuses to get different abilities. Furthermore, he does also provide a 10% HP cut to all enemies at the start of each battle. So every time you enter a new stage, he does a 10% health cut to the enemy. It's a pretty cool effect. If a Cerebral character is super effective against the enemy type, changes their slot to matching in the following turn. That's also a really nice ability to just generate more matching slots. And heals the crew by 4,000 HP at the end of every turn. And 20% damage reduction. So, very, very tanky captain. Healing, damage reduction, HP cut every time you enter a stage, lots of matching slots, cooldown reduction. I think just across the board, he has everything going for him. The only thing he does not have is like a utility effect in his captain ability. But if you take out a utility effect, he has basically everything you could possibly want in a captain. Great captain ability. I would have loved a piece of utility, but I guess it's not the end of the world. This is a very, very good effect. Now, the special ability, not a lot of people are going to have this special ability completely maxed out, ready to go. So we'll have a look at both of them. So when you super evolve him, he gives Driven Cerebral 1 cooldown, reduces 6 turns of paralysis. That's a nice addition. That was not there before. Cerebral and Driven characters, 2.5 attack for 2 turns. That's good. If your HP is 50% or below when you launch the special, or when you have a special status set as 1, further buffs the crew attack boost by 0.25, so it becomes a 2.75 times attack boost, and you get a chain boundary of 3.0 to 40 for 3 turns, otherwise 2.75 to 35 for 2 turns. I mean, it seems okay. The only thing that they've really done is they've made the multiplier slightly higher, and paralysis reduction is now here too, so not a major difference. Let's see what happens if you get him invested. So the paralysis removal becomes a 7-turn removal instead of 6, and you buff the attack boost by plus 0.5 instead of 0.25, so it becomes a 3 times attack boost for 2 turns for both Driven and Cerebral. And then the chain boundary also goes to 3.25 instead of 3.0. So it's a much better chain boundary, much better attack boost. Paralysis is slightly buffed. Is that worth, honestly, all the investments? No, because the effects itself do not change. It's just the numbers are slightly higher. I guess supposedly, like, the paralysis removal going from 6 to 7 might be the key difference. But, I mean, the fact that we get access to something like Mr. 1 support, which can attach to him, which can remove a further 4 turns of paralysis, it's probably not the end of the world, right? There's a lot of paralysis reduction supports and effects, so I don't think it's the end of the world. I don't think it's worth investing just to get the buffed version of the special at level limit break 5. The captain ability does have quite a lot of changes in terms of multipliers and stuff like that, but the actual effects don't change that much. I mean, you get 2,000 heal per turn instead of 4,000. It's not that big of a difference. I mean, the cooldown reduction, I guess, suppose could be a big deal. Like, 1 turn of cooldown really can make or break a certain run with the way that you build a team. But I think overall, this is one of those units that you probably don't even need to have the max investments for this guy, because the effects are pretty much the same. So do not stress too much about that. Now, his superclass effect, it will reduce enemies' HP by 10%. It changes bomb, recovery, G, block, and empty slots into matching, which is pretty good. Ooh, that's new. He activates a 70% HP guard for 1 turn. Ooh. Okay, that is new. He did not have that before. I absolutely love that. He sets own special status to 1, of course, and then Cerebral becomes Super Cerebral. Yeah, this is a great superclass effect. Fantastic. This guy's going to be great. This guy's going to be great. And you know how I mentioned before in his captain ability, there's not like a utility effect? Well, his superclass basically has a utility effect. Albeit, though, the HP guard only does last for 1 turn, and it is a 70% reduction, so it's not the best, but it can definitely help. This can make or break your run. Like, if you are inflicted with that super burn effect, this can help you potentially tank all those burn hits without worrying about it too much. So I actually kind of like that. Now, the thing about this Crocodile, unfortunately, is that he was terrible in Rumble. If I remember correctly, he had a lot of effects that were focused on fixed damage, but then in his Rumble kit, he, like, gave himself attack buffs, so it's kind of, like, counterintuitive. So let's see what they have done with his Rumble. So his Rumble ability gives your Dex allies attack, HP, and speed level 6. Whenever this guy heals, he gives himself level 3 attack up to 6 times. It's a lot of attack he can give to himself. But then you have a look at this special ability. 25 CT, targets 1 enemy for 6,000 fixed damage, targets self for 3,000 healing, and attack and defense level 6 for 30 seconds. So they really haven't done much. He still doesn't make any sense. The fact that he gives himself so much gosh darn attack boosts, but his effect is fixed damage, so it doesn't matter what his attack is. This is a really terrible effect. The fact that it's 25 CT is okay, it's respectable. A 6,000 hit is nothing to scoff at. That can do a ton of damage to an enemy, but realistically speaking, this is not a character you're going to be using in Rumble. Let's keep it real here, you know? So, yeah, a little underwhelming on the Rumble department. I think they could have definitely done stuff to make him a lot more usable. But I will say that his normal kit, it is a slight increase. I don't think it's going to mean that, like, this guy's going to see a ton of play, but hey, we saw Magellan, right? Magellan, I thought he was probably one of the best 6+s of the year, and he has been used a lot recently in content. So I can definitely see them going out of their way to make this guy more useful in content than he normally would. But we'll see, right? Let me know your thoughts and opinions about Crocodile down below in the comment section. Are you a fan of this super evolution? I think it's respectable. It's not the worst 6+ of the year, but I don't think it's the best either. They definitely could have done more to make him a lot stronger. And I will say that even though he is a treasure map legend where not a lot of people are going to have investments into him, they probably treaded that line quite well, where they didn't want to make it too broken upon getting the investment into this guy, because, you know, not a lot of people are going to have those investments anyway. But the fact that what they've done here is, like, they've made him slightly stronger, but the effects themselves are not that much different, which is probably good, honestly. It's probably for the best. Hopefully you enjoyed the video, though. If you did, make sure to go ahead and leave a like, and if you want to stay up to date with all the content I post, including more One Piece Treasure Cruise content, make sure to hit the subscribe button down below. And that, guys, I'll see you guys within the next video.